Greetings, dear viewers. Welcome. Today I have a poem about Samuel Reshevsky, and the name of the poem is Resh In Joy. This is a game that was played between Samuel Reshevsky and Jose Raul Capablanca. And Capablanca, of course, is no stranger to the chess world. He was one of the greatest players of his time, and even today is widely recognized as one of the greatest players of all time. Capablanca, famous for his impeccable endgame technique. Not only that, Capablanca was also famous for understanding the nuances of the position. Now, what makes this game little interesting is how Samuel Reshevsky was able to outplay Capablanca, and especially considering that it was a Queen's Gambit declined game. Now, Capablanca was a master of d4 openings, and he was able to traverse the path of d4 quite well than any other player. And in this game, Samuel Reshevsky royally outplays Jose Raul Capablanca. Now, at this time, one needs to remember that Capablanca, you can call he was past his prime because he was world champion from 1921 to 27, and then this was played in 1935. At 1934, he was trying to make some kind of a comeback. Reshevsky also, at this time, the tournament was played in Margaret. He was also trying to juggle between a little bit of his accountancy career, a little bit of his chess. So, in a way, both were not completely full-fledged into chess. But of course, Samuel Reshevsky had the edge in terms of the form, you can say. But Capablanca was, even though he was not a finished article, but you can call that he was well past his prime. So first, I would like to take you through the critical positions of the game. And there is only one important position. So this is the position. So Samuel Reshevsky is playing white, Capablanca is playing black. And in this position, this is the beauty of the game. Samuel Reshevsky understands that the d5 pawn is a one that has to be targeted in this particular position, and he comes up with a very great plan to more or less take control of the queen side, and from there he plays a brilliant game to convert the advantage. So first he comes up with a very interesting exchange. So he plays bishop into f6, then bishop into f6 follows, and then he pushes b3 to undermine the c4 pawn, and then queen f5 is played, and b4, very interesting move, queen into b4, rook b1. So it's going to give a lot of play on the queen side. Now he forces a6 because a7 is threatened, and then b5, yeah, so on. So you can say that Samuel Reshevsky was slowly outplaying and was taking control of the queen side, and later the game concludes quite well. In fact, the knight which is there on f3 just goes on to a great voyage in this game and replaces the knight which is there on c3. It goes 3, it goes to e5, then g4, then f2, then d1, then c3. So it comes after a very long journey. And again, this maneuvering game was well liked by the chess world, and in a way this game brought a great understanding of the position of the queen's gambit, because many of them thought that okay, if the d5 pawn is isolated, only then it can be a potential target. But this game proved otherwise, that even though it is not isolated, there is a chance that it can still be a weakness. Now these are the details that you need to know. This is the game played between Capablanca and Samuel Reshevsky in 1935 Margaret. Let's get on with the poem then. The youth was about to face the invincible entity. This game, with its element of beauty, gave a new understanding of the queen's gambit, the d5 pawn and its vulnerable orbit. Reshevsky's voluntary exchange of bishop for the knight had an underlying idea which was quite bright. The plan was to weaken the d5 pawn and to ensure that it is gone. The smart game by Reshevsky, with a splendid operation, made Capablanca's queenside lose some protection. At last, with a plan so grand and elaborate, the d5 pawn of Capablanca falls to his plate. Reshevsky goes on to convert the advantage, and at such a young age manages to outplay a genius at ease, which made people take notice. A draw offer by Capablanca was rejected, which clearly reinstated that the boy wanted to go far and become a chess superstar. I hope you like the poem. I specifically have used the term boy for Reshevsky because wherever he was going, even though he was aged about 20 by this time, wherever he was going, he was still recognized as the boy who beat a lot of good masters. So he was recognized that way because he was one of the greatest child prodigies of that time. So I hope you like the poem. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. I'm going to be bringing out poems like this about various chess topics and great personalities. Thank you very much for your time.